So I just left the audition and somebody called the ambulance because I killed it. Go ahead. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Journey to the Dream. Thank y'all for tuning in, to all my followers, all three of y'all. I appreciate you for watching. Okay, I might even send you a couple dollars. Send me your cash app. So I'm on my way back to the car. I'm about to go get some Chick-fil-A because I'm hungry. And the casting director said that they're holding callbacks tomorrow. So if they need me, I'll be hearing from them tonight. So if I get an email, y'all know I'm about to keep y'all posted. Anyways, today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the audition process out here in Hollywood, okay? There are mainly two types of auditions out here. The first one is video auditions and the second one is in-person auditions. Today, I had an in-person audition at this studio called Cast Studio, and I go into detail about it in my car ride that y'all get ready to see. On my way to this audition, it's for a potential pilot, so they kind of want to shoot like a long, like a, what is it called? The preview, not the preview thing. You know what I'm talking about, Jeff. I don't memorize my lines, so I'm completely off book. And I'm about to go in here and kill it. I'll take you guys inside like the little audition area so I can show you everybody that's waiting. I'm on my way to cast. So normally like the projects that get cast here are like indies or like little day player roles for certain TV shows. But most TV shows, they do a lot of casting at their own studios. So if it's like a Fox or, you know, an ABC, like they'll actually have you come to the studio and audition there with their casting director. As you walk into the studio, there's a whiteboard on the left that lets you know what audition room you're going to be in according to the name of the project. There's also a computer in the front that you sign into that lets casting know that you're here. This is the waiting area. Normally it's filled with people trickling in and out, but it's pretty dead right now because I got that first thing in the morning. This is the audition room. You'll see the room number and the project name. You'll also see an iPad on a tripod. That's where they store all of your information, headshot, resume, reel. That's the basic backdrop. They're gonna film you doing what you do. That's where the casting director sits, and those are some lights to make you look good. I personally have a love-hate relationship with video auditions for the simple fact that in video auditions, I'm a perfectionist. So I would do like 30 takes until I get it right. And then I start thinking like, dang, I really did good on this last take, but it was just like a couple seconds of that take, and then I really did good on this other take for the majority of it, but I messed up a little bit on that take, and like you really want to get the perfect take. So that's kind of why I have a love-hate relationship with it, because you can do it over and over again until you get it right, and I usually do it over and over again until I get it right. So sometimes I'm literally like 30 takes deep, and I'm like lighting, sound, like everything has to be perfect. But yeah, in-person auditions, I like in-person auditions, but I think video auditions are more effective because one, you know, gas is doggone near $4 out here, and ain't nobody got time to be driving back and forth to Hollywood because I'm in the valley. But yeah, so I save gas, I save on time. They normally give you like 1 to 2, maybe 3 days to submit the video audition, so you have time. But the other hard part about video auditions is that you have to find a trusted friend that can be your reader. Back in the day when I didn't really know anybody out here like that, or it's not even that I didn't know anybody, it's just that like I always have a hard time asking for help. I'm so used to doing things by myself, and it's just really hard for me to be like, yo, can you come over and be my reader while I do this video audition? I got out of that real quick because literally what I used to do was use my phone and pre-record the other person's lines, but then it didn't give me enough time to like play with the different deliveries that I was giving in front of the camera. So it was very like strategic and timed out, and you really had to do it pretty much the exact same way the first time in order for the timing to be correct. So that's that. The in-person auditions, I kind of like to, because baby, you got one shot, baby. We all on the same playing field. Like, your video editing skills can be better than mine, even though like they don't really ask you to do all of that. But you know what I'm saying? You got enough time to get it right in the video audition. But in person, you got one shot. You got one shot and one shot only to get it right. Which means I got one shot. Which means if you bomb your one shot and I do great on my one shot, then, you know, I mean, you know what it is. Like, and I book the role, then, you know, to God be the glory. So that's the other thing. Generally at these places, parking is a nightmare. Parking in Hollywood in general is a nightmare. So you gotta really make sure you read the signs like 1,000,001 times, because you will walk back to a ticket on your car. So bomb, let me tell y'all. As much as I literally felt in my soul, like in my whole soul, like deep in my soul, that I totally like killed this audition. Somebody called the ambulance because I killed it. Especially after the casting director was like, make sure that you're, you know, stay by your email because callbacks are tomorrow. We got a quick turnaround. Child, I was waiting. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 9, 10 o'clock. I was waiting, like, dang, Lord. Like, I know I did a good job on this audition, bruh. Like, for real. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe she got a little bit behind on her schedule. Maybe she gonna drop me an audition link in the morning. Woke up the next morning, child, 9, 10, 11 o'clock rolled around. Still ain't got no audition invoice. And so... I didn't get it. Tip number 2, guys. That brings me to tip number 2. You are never supposed to do that. The greatest piece of advice that anybody has ever given me while I was out here in Los Angeles is to audition and forget it. Like, leave it in the room. Do what you got to do when you do it in the room and leave it right there. Don't think about it. Don't dwell on it. I used to go on Facebook and be like, hey y'all, I got an audition for Think Like a Man too. Pray for me. Pray for me, saints. Keep me lifted. Hey y'all, I got an audition for Ride Along. Hey y'all, I got an audition for Being Mary Jane. And then nothing. Then you're on Facebook and you look crazy because you doing all these auditions and you ain't booking. And that's just the reality of the situation. Like, you ain't gonna book everything. Like, out of 10 auditions, you may book 0. No, like, you may book 1 out of 10 auditions, or you really may book 0. You may go on 20 auditions and not book anything. But don't let that discourage you. It has nothing to do with you per se. It could literally just be, oh, they're looking for a specific type. Or some people, to be honest with you, just do auditions for the logistics of it just because they have to. And at the end of the day, they put in their friends and their stuff. More power to you, because my show, I'm gonna put my friends in it too. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, if I know what you're capable of and I know what you can do and I think that you're gonna be great for this role, yes, I'm gonna hold auditions just to make sure ain't nothing else out there that I didn't see before. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna cast my friends. Lord willing, once my show gets picked up. But yeah, man, go on that audition, give it your best, and leave it there. Like, don't think about it, don't harp over it, because you will be one depressed and sad individual. Take it from me. Because I literally was sitting down there counting the hours like, okay, girl, you definitely told me that you was finna drop me an email tonight, and guess what? No email came. When you go inside auditions, you will generally see the same people. They typecast quite often, and so once you get into a certain category, you'll see like literally the same people at each audition because their agent is sending them out to the same auditions as you because you fit the same description as that person. Once you move up in levels, you get to a different group of black people, or a different group of white people, or just a different group. Like, once you move up on the ranks of celebrity from Z to A, you're in the audition room with higher people that you will literally see on TV right now that has a series regular role that's booking, which is super exciting because, girl, I just made it to that level where I'm at auditions with like people that have series regular roles on TV. My mom on the come up. Watch out for the kid. people in Hollywood, unless you know them on a personal level, they really don't talk to you while you're at audition. Everybody's focused. Everybody's just trying to make sure that their lines are down, make sure that, you know, they're gonna go in and give it their best shot. So ain't nobody trying to talk to you, really. I mean, some people are friendlier than others, but 9 times out of 10, when I'm in my auditions, right before I'm in my zone, I'm really not trying to talk to anybody. I'm just trying to go over it in my head. And I even stand up and like go over it and like do my mannerisms, but I just don't like say the words out loud, because then that's when you start looking crazy. No, I'm kidding. But do whatever you got to do in these auditions prior to, you know, walking in the door. Like whatever it takes to prep to make sure that you book the role, do that. If anybody judges you, so what? Like nobody's really gonna judge you, because we are all actors and we all do the same thing. Another tip to it, don't shake the casting director's hands, because they don't really like that. Like just imagine like 50 people coming in to audition for a role and you have to shake each and every one of their hands. Like I mean, I wouldn't want to, so I get it. Work the room, man. Work the room. Be that, people fall in love with you and your personality. Be that bubbly person, but not overly bubbly, like, oh, she trying too hard, but just be like genuine, you know what I'm saying? Like if you a real one like me, you know, you just, hey, how y'all doing today? Praise the Lord, glory to God, you know, that kind of thing. Just be yourself, because they really fall in love with the person, and then they fall in love with who you bring to the character. Never look in the camera unless explicitly told to do so. You never look directly in the camera. You always look off to the side to the reader. I've literally had the worst readers in the world that were like stumbling on lines that was just making me look awful, but it is your job, no matter what type of reader you got, like, you just gotta bring it, man. You have to bring it. Always show up to the audition with your sides in your hands, even though you may be off book, which I strongly suggest that you always are off book. Your sides in your hand lets them know that this isn't the finished product. So like if I don't have my sides, it's like, oh, this is it, this is what you're gonna get, and I'm not directable, I'm not really coachable. When you have the sides in your hand, it's like, oh, she still like can play around with it. It's just a psychological thing, which is dumb if you ask me, but it's just, you know, it is what it is. Like that's what my different acting coaches and stuff have told me, and I'm giving it to y'all for the free 99. Another tip is, in Los Angeles now, they don't really collect headshots and resumes as much, because everything is digital, and like, why waste paper? Like, why? So literally, unless they ask, like, please bring headshot and resume, I ain't bringing it. I'm not gonna waste my money. For what? These headshots is not cheap either. They are good $2-3 for one. Now, can you imagine if I got like a whole slew of them ordered? Like, bruh. But yeah, so that's pretty much all of the audition tips that I have for you guys for today. If I think of any more, like, I'll either do a new video or I'll like put them down in the description. Maybe. I might be lazy. I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Journey to the Dream, and make sure you tune in next week.